Welcome back. My friend's landscaping truck got its window busted out by one of his workers with a weed whacker. So he called the glass guy, put a new glass in, and the glass guy said, "Your window regulator is broken." How could that have happened? Probably didn't clean out any broken glass on the inside of it, so it didn't look like he even took any of this apart. So now we got to put a new window regulator in. It's all driven by cables. My guess is that broken glass got stuck in over here, and after the guy put the glass in, he probably ran it up and down a few times, and some bits got stuck and caused the cable to pop off or break. So now we have the fun of changing this whole thing out. Got 10mm bolts all around here to have to come out. Speaker's got to come out. Looks like he had the speaker out part of the way already. And I believe we got to take the latch mechanism out too, because it attaches on to here. So let's see what we need to disconnect. And the rod can pop off. This we're going to have to take off after we get it off in place. I believe there's a torque screw on the top to change that out. There is some other linkage parts that are in there we have to disconnect. I don't know if my light can show you. I got that one part of the clip popped off. That rod is going to get pulled out now to the front. Got it off. And there is another one behind it, the orange clip. Looks like it's kind of hard to get to. We got to get that one released also. Got to get all of the wires out of the way here. Unplug this, pop these all out, and get them popped off over here. And we got to get the speaker out too. All right, we got our speaker undone. Got all the wiring unclipped here from the power window motor. A little control module here. This is a T20 Torx. We're just going to unscrew this and let it hang. And we have one other wire that's going into the latch mechanism. We'll have to disconnect that when we pull the whole panel out of the way. All right, we got to get the latch out. This is a what is this? T20. Get these out. Hey, Rosie, you want to help? Do you? Yeah, right. Thank you. Got all the 10mm bolts out, a whole handful of them over here, and one more to go up here. We'll see how this thing pulls off. You got this one wire to contend to too. It's still in here, running to the lock mechanism. One more bolt over here. In case of an accident, we got to drive all the way back to North Carolina? Oh no. You need to move this thing forward while playing with this wire over here. We still got this one plugged in. We got it out enough now to get back to the latch where it's going to. The linkage pieces here that you took off the door handle are going to want to get stuck on this, so you kind of move them around. Now we will have to clean out the mess that the glass guy left and the other broken pieces that are down in there. Let's get this mess out of the way. We also have to switch over the motor. Now we got the motor to swap over, and the whole latch assembly's got to go into the other door. All right, T25. Get the motor swapped over there. Now we got to work on the latch mechanism. Flip this over. These slide out. There's little retaining clips that hold them in place here. So we're going to slide them off, slide them onto the new one. Got to get the rod disconnected and the handle undone. That is a T25, I believe. Yes, it is. You need to pry these locking tabs open so you can slide this thing out. Slide it over into the new one. There we go. this one, you'll need to remove the rod from here first. And this rod might be able to stay on, or we'll have to take it off and feed it through. Let's get that rod off. All right, we pulled this whole rod assembly out. Take the grommet out too, but it's not in there. Feed that back in place. We need to get the little foam block over here peeled off and stuck back on, and now we could slide this one back into where it goes while we're trying to get that into that hole at the same time. All right, what else do we need to steal? Rubber bumper over here has to come out and go in there. Put that rubber grommet in to this. Got the rod in over here for the lock. That's gonna go back in.
It's engineered, it's just cheap shit.
Joe cleaned out the door very well. The little things that were stuck over here that were on the bottom are the things that go onto the glass. So we have to get them to pop in place. Yeah, it's fun putting something together you didn't take apart. All right, nose will clip on to the plastic part of the track there. We got our wire plugged back on to the latch. The retaining clip shoved in there. We got to make sure this stays out of the way. It's got to go. Whoop, it's got to go down like over here. There's a little clip down in there for it. Now we get to feed this this whole mess back in. Watching these rods so you can get behind them. And we get to reach in there and hook up the linkage again. All right, we got the screw out of this. We have to remove that out of the other one. Need to pry this down and kind of pop it out over there. It's kind of like a little retaining notch in there. Feels like it wants to break. That's the way it's going to come out. The spring has to be putting pressure against that little slot right in here. So you got to get the spring back in there, push this thing back in place. You need to push it back like it's going to snap off, and then you could get that clip in right there, and then put your screw back in place, and then hook up your linkage. All right, we got all our bolts tight. We got everything bolted back in. We have our wiring back in where it needs to be. We had the key in the ignition already, and we moved it up so we could see the track over here. And through the speaker hole, we could see it over there. The glass guy had left it all wedged up. We got to pull all this out, untape it, and then slide the glass down and clip it into our clips where they need to be. Just drop the glass right down. It caught into the clips. The other one's down in there now. Now we get to see if it works. Here, you hold the camera.
Here we are. Almost complete. We're working overtime tonight.
Lots of grass to mow tomorrow. At least you could open your window. Up.
And word to the wise, they're not using competent glass people.
Now we could put our speaker back in.
It works.
And figure out how to put a door panel on, because I didn't take it off.
Yeah.
Don't forget the little plastic clip that holds this in. Otherwise you got nothing to screw to. Pull it out of the old panel. Let's go fit it back in. Don't forget your wire, otherwise you'll have to go dig for it down in the hole. And we can plug this back in. This should just push back in place. Okay. If this video helped you, please do me a favor, like and subscribe. I love helping people, but I need your help too. Thanks for watching. Come here. There you go, girl. That's a good girl.